excited about the way we played last week. Thought we played a good 3 quarters of football. Need to learn to finish a little bit better. And it's I've mentioned this before, the killer instinct of you're up 31-0 and you got to keep competing and keep finishing. I thought there was too many leaky plays at the end of the game that didn't affect the outcome of the game, but to be the team we want to be, those are the areas we need to continue to improve. Just all 3 phases had moments of playing really good football, and it was a complimentary win that way. A lot of room to get better. Excited about this week and homecoming, being back at our home stadium. I will make one announcement and won't cover it anymore. We have dismissed Jose Leon and Sean Collins from the team for violating team rules, and that's all I'm going to talk about that. But I wanted you guys to know that and hear that from us, and with that, I'll open it up for questions.
David Ware, 24/7 Sports. After you had a chance to kind of chew on the game film, what were some of the specific things, highs and lows, that you isolated?
Yeah, the highs were on. I thought we took care of the football, and on offense, and I thought JJ played really well. A great decision making, good timing, was accurate with the football, and didn't put the ball in jeopardy. Our run game was the room for improvement there. We battled it out. Well, we wanted to maintain balance, but in the second half, we opened it up and threw the ball a little bit more and got our tight ends involved in the game. Just because of the way they were playing, we adjusted and did some things that we hadn't done or shown. And on defense, it's still really happy to play 3 quarters of shutout football and be up 31-0 the way we are. But we got a pick 6 called back for a dumb penalty. And we did a good job as a team. We cut down to 3 penalties. And we keep talking about the penalties and the turnover battle. So we're becoming a smarter team. We're learning how to win football games. We got to learn how to close out games. But we still need to improve some red area defense stuff and some tackling. We had 27 missed tackles. That's too many for us. And just got to be in the back end. We need to be better with our eyes, and gave up some leaky plays in the passing game, a couple touchdown passes that shouldn't have happened if our eyes are where they're supposed to be. I gave up a touchdown pass and post defense should have a post player sitting in the middle of the field. And just those are the things that for 4 quarters, got to play cleaner football, got to play better, but happy with the win.
Talking about pass protection a little bit, especially you said you kind of adjusted some calls in the second half. There were some plays that took a little longer to develop, and JJ had a really clean pocket most of the day. Well, what do you attribute kind of that positive pass protection to? Yeah,
the offensive line, I thought we played better in pass protection than we did in the run game. And then to Georgia State's credit, we knew their strength was going to be their D-line. They have twitch. Coach has done a good job recruiting. Their high-end players are good players, and they created some issues for us in the run game that way. But I was really pleased with the way we protected, which allowed us to do the things we need to do, and that's hold the ball a little bit longer, get through progressions. I thought JJ did a good job exhausting his progressions, and I thought that's where the offensive line played their best game, was in pass protection.
Looking ahead to Coastal, they've lost 3 games by an average of almost 40 points a game.
Yeah.
They've won 3 games by almost an average of 2 touchdowns a game. That's a pretty wide swing of outcomes. What is this Coastal team as you guys are starting to get into it and break them down?
Yeah, it's a talented team that's well coached. Their schemes are difficult. They run a 3-safety defense, which would be the first time we've seen that this year. Obviously, we worked it a little bit in fall camp, and then we did some in training camp, and we did some in OTAs, so it's not the first time our guys have exposures to it. But it's a team that, like a lot of us, I would say up until about 2 weeks ago, we're figuring out who we are, and we need to make sure we know exactly who we are, and we play that way every week. And they're a team that can beat anyone. On any given Saturday, this is a good football team that creates a lot of challenges. Schematically, they're going to create challenges. They're going to play with 2 quarterbacks, similar to what Georgia State did. I thought our defense did a good job adjusting and handling that. It'll be the same type challenge this week, but Coach Beck does a good job. They're going to be well coached. They're going to play hard. It's an edgy, chippy team, so we're going to have to play with poise as well, and we're excited we have them at home.
Coach David Jackson, Parkway Sports. When you think about personality of your team, go back 2 games before this winning streak, 10 sacks allowed. You were giving up some yards defensively. You take that in these last 2 games, 3 sacks allowed. You've got a personality about your defense that has been very bend, don't break, and come up with the clutch moment. just past the midway point now, what is the personality of this football team? Are you beginning to see that on a more consistent basis?
I thought that we had more edge the last 2 weeks than we've had. I thought we played with more resilience than we have, and I think that only happens because of I've used a statement as confidence is born through demonstrated ability, and you have to teach teams how to win collectively together. And they're starting to buy into the principles of playing smarter, harder, and longer than our opponent. And when you first get here, you're trying to change a culture. You're trying to change a team. You're trying to make them believe. And words can only go so far. They have to go do it. And they have to experience that. And then they start buying in. So I think the buy-in's higher than it's ever been. And I think when you really there's trust and there's shared joy and after wins. And they understand, hey, when you win a game, that celebrated locker room makes all this hard work worth it. And I think they also know that that the only way we're becoming a better practice team. And I think that if you said, hey, why have you won the last 2 games? Let's say because we've learned how to practice. And we have to continue that. At South Carolina last year when we were 3-3, the difference was why we went on a 6-game win streak is we just kept getting better and learning how to practice the right way. And that's what we're doing. There's still things we need to clean up. We're not great. It's why it's sometimes bend but don't break. You can't miss 27 tackles. That's why it feels that way. If we just tackle the ball where it's caught and you make them put the ball down again, we're going to eliminate those type things. And same thing when we protect the passer the way we did. There's not as many second longs and first and longs. Like you're eliminating penalties that put you behind the sticks. So we're still a team that's learning how to win. I love this team. I love the way they play. I think they're really starting to build an identity of being an edgy, play with a chip on your shoulder team. We're not where we need to be yet, but we are trending in the right direction and got a lot of work ahead of us.
Everything that you just said, if you applied that to a position group, how do you feel that best applies to an offensive line, especially one that is doing still some camaraderie building in the portal era and just bringing guys together in a group that's so synergistic pretty much all the time?
Yeah, there's no way I could pronounce that word you just said. What was that again?
Togetherness of the offensive
okay, I'll take
line.
that. No, every Thursday I have a position group to my house, and we watch the Thursday night game, and we do pizza and wings, and the offensive line was the group last week, and just to get to see those guys, look, it's moving. Like Griff started this week over Trent because Trent was battling an ankle, and just had a better week and Trent wasn't his best. So now you got to go in there, you got to play together. And it's hard because you got to see 5 people have to see it through one lens, and every week there's a different challenge for those guys, and it's a really hard position to play. It's non-gratifying a lot of the time, but you win and lose because your offense, defensive line. Like you get those things right, and you get good quarterback play, you're going to win a lot more than you lose, and I think they know that, and it is a group that's close. There's new faces, but they've all gelled together, and they're still learning how to play together, but they're doing a good job, and we're eliminating the penalties at that spot, and we need to keep working on that. I don't think offensively, outside of delay a game, we didn't have one penalty, and that's a huge step for us. And because before you learn how to win, you got to find ways not to lose, and that's what losing looks like, is all the sloppy play. And they are resilient. They're all banged up. But when Ram practices and he's got what he's got going on and his ankle and no way close to 100%, but when he's willing to spill it and practice doing it, there's a lot of guys that will, show up and it's a game time decision, but he practiced every day. He hadn't missed one practice because of it. Have we taken out some of our good reps? Sure. But every time it's a scout look, he's out there, and it just applies a toughness to that group that you need. And that toughness is, like, there's no pats on the back. Most people don't know they couldn't name all 5 offensive linemen, and definitely not their numbers. And we've played 7 or 8 this year already, but just proud of that group of their resiliency to continue to compete and do it together.
Last one for me, Isaiah Cummings, certainly a guy that's gotten a lot more run here over the last few weeks. What is it about his skill set combined with your scheme that makes him such a difficult matchup?
Yeah, I love the kid. And same thing, has become a great practice player. I don't say this, and he would be my starting tight end if I was still at South Carolina. He's that talented. And sometimes for him, he's been to 2 different schools. He started at Kentucky. In 2023, he played really well against us while I was in South Carolina. The first time I ever watched him, I'm sitting in the box. I'm like, who is that? Because when you see him, like, he looks like a Madden creative player. He's going to play in the NFL. He's got size. He's got speed. He's got a great smile. He's unselfish. He's a great teammate. He's grateful for everything he's gotten, and everything he's gotten is earned. And he goes to Kentucky. Then he goes to Louisville, and his role wasn't what he wanted to be. If there was anything good about the transfer portal, which I don't really love, but I love the players that we've gotten in it, in the transfer portal, is a kid like that who's looking for an opportunity. He's not looking for the bag. He wants an opportunity just to play, to compete, and to continue to chase his dreams, to see, hey, how good can I be? And can I put a successful year together and have a chance to go to the next level? And I believe in all my heart that he has the traits and skills to play at the next level. Our last 2 tight ends at South Carolina had chances to play in the NFL, and Josh Simon is playing with the Falcons still, and I believe that Isaiah will be that same type guy because he does have a very unique skill set. He's got real length, he's got intelligence, he's got savvy, he's got strong hands, he's good with the run after the catch, and he's a great teammate. We're very, very fortunate to have him on our team.
David Rogers, High Country Sports. You mentioned earlier the challenges you had with the running game this on Saturday. Was that something that Georgia State was specifically doing that was providing most of the challenge, or was it a deficiency somewhere that you saw in your play?
No, I mean, they did the same thing to JMU the week before. I mean, that's a good front. It's talented. They've done a good job in the transfer portal. They've got twitch. Their suddenness is going to create problems. They will continue to give people problems because it is, and they do a good job mixing the front up enough where it's a challenge from scheme and talent standpoint.
And just a follow-on question to that is, what's the depth look like in your running back room behind Dominion and Lewis?
Yeah, we have 2 other guys that are Kamani, obviously, number 26, and Khalifa Keith, number 18, that are both competing, and those definitely the 1 and 2 with Trig and Dub, and they're splitting time and doing a good job of it, and both unselfish and cheering for each other, and both positively affecting the team. And then that 3rd spot's always going to come down to competition, who has the best week and who can help us the most. And we want to continue to develop players as we have a established 1-2 punch. We want to continue to develop our 3s and 4s.
Marvin Parker Jr., WLOS ABC Asheville. With exploring that depth, being able to last week, outside the running back room, was there anyone who got more reps than normal or position group that you were pleased to see?
Yeah, just the amount of receivers that touched the ball. Was our passing game felt very unselfish. A lot of people touched the ball. Then obviously getting no in was helpful as well. We kept the first team offensive line in just because we wanted to play together for a long period of time. If we could have gotten one more score or one more stop, then we probably would have made a wholesale change to get more backups in. And but it just, at that time, the game was getting leaky a little bit, and I didn't like the way we finished the game in the 4th quarter, so I wasn't into wholesale changes and getting the 3s and 4s in. Enough people played where we were pleased with that, but the tight end room as a group had 152 yards receiving, and so I was pleased with just the amount of people touched the ball. It's always good when you get your young quarterback reps. I think it's really important. Every time you do that, you get a chance to evaluate him, and you get a chance for him to grow as well. And so from that standpoint, I would just say the diversity of scheme and the people touching the ball, and same thing on defense, was like if we could have got a better handle in the 4th quarter, more guys would have played, but we were able to rotate a decent amount of guys through.
And then you touched on this about midway through, but maybe just with 2 wins in a row, a good homestand, a dominant road performance, just how important or contagious is confidence in a locker room? You said, when you win, you see success, but just maybe how much more the student athletes are just excited about performing well.
Yeah, well, I think especially when you come home, when you get to play at this place, the last memory they have walking off that field was the 6th largest crowd ever in a goal line stand, and our players being there our fans being there from start to finish. So that creates excitement right off in the kids' word, right off the rip. And so every time they get a chance to play at home, it's excitement. And now you've won a couple, so you've experienced a little success. Now, look, we still have to deal with prosperity and adversity. So now it's, can we handle winning? Can we win 2 games in a row and still have a great practice tonight? Can we come in with great focus and then learn the game plan and do the things that keep living right? The energy has been right. The weight room's been right. Our people have been going to class. Their grades are improving, and that's what success does. And it trickulates through our state, through our community, and everyone feels when App State is winning, the food tastes better. The sun shines a little bit longer. Not that it shines a lot here, but it's better for everyone, and they feel it. They feel the vibe on campus. They feel the vibes when they're walking around. Like, this is really important here. Football is really, really important here, and winning football is even more important.
You answered my follow-up question, so I'm good.
I like it when that happens. Yeah.
We're good. Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate you guys.